sure about that?
QFusion. Let's get it in.
Welcome back to another video with your boy here, QFusion. Oh man, it feels beautiful. God, I don't even know what I just said there. Jeez, it's a glorious day, all. Welcome you guys to another video where I break down and have my reactions to all things controversial, funny, thought-provoking, where have you. If you're here, that means you are looking to take a step outside of the convenient, or the conventional way of thinking, and to to maybe get yourself a little bit of insight as far as to how to not go through life thinking that everything needs to just fit the status quo. Right. So I enjoy my channel. If you haven't peeked onto any one of my other episodes on my channel at QFusion Reacts or at QFusion, what you would know is that I simply just love telling it how it is. We also have I have a main channel with me and my co-host Double A Hef called the Moss Media Podcast, where we talk about everything under the sun. We focus primarily on dating, relationships, intersexual dynamics, to tell you all the things men and sometimes women alike, the truth as we see fit, and the truth as that keeps getting pushed off to the wayside because it doesn't fit within the tiny little box of political correctness that everybody adheres to, right? So with that being said, the truth is a subjective undertone which allows for one to receive the sort of enlightenment. Oh, see, now I'm having a Kyrie Irving moment. Simply, the truth is the truth. There is no my truth. There is no your truth. And I think so many times in a lot of the conversations I have on the podcast, when we react to certain videos or react to certain posts, we see so many times people talking about, well, my truth, or well, that's your truth. Or guys, there's only one universal truth. There are things that are undeniable that we can simply we can have a conversation about, but at the end of the day, if there is no baseline, then it's really tough to have a conversation based in logic, where we're able to come to a meeting of the minds, right? Which is what I love. I love being able to have those tough conversations with people, whether it be at your family barbecue or at the barbershop. But it's very tough for me to have conversations with people nowadays because everybody sort of has this ambiguous idea of the truth and sort of retrofit it to fit whatever they deem convenient to the way of their thinking or their emotional thought process, which gets nothing done besides a ton of yelling, screaming, and unnecessary jargon, right? So without further ado, I wanted to take a look at this video because it looks like this video talks on. It looks like we're going to see some triggered individuals who just can't handle the truth. All right. So with that said, let's begin.
Take advantage of me. I want you. Here's my password to my PayPal. You go into the account, send yourself the money. He's really like this guy who wants to be taken.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm really distracted. Yeah, this is a tough one. This is really distracting. I'm really trying to pay attention to what she says, and also too, which is really funny to me because a lot of women want to be respected for how they think and their intellectual prowess, but yet they dress like this, knowing full well that their sight line is going to be damn near impossible for for the people of the opposite sex to be able to take you seriously and the thoughts that are coming out of your head seriously without paying attention to your knockers. Oh, Jesus. How dare you? I could see it coming. I'm sorry.
Advantage of. He wants me to like access and go into his Facebook and like log him out and then like make him give me $1,000 or like 2,000 because he's stuck and he has no other option. Like that turns him on. Then he was sending me his full-blown credit card, and then I was just like paying like literally all the things that you never want to pay, which I think I'm smart for doing.
You know what? You know what, guys? I don't even blame people like this, right? I don't blame women like this. I say this all the time on my other channel. I blame men. Okay, this is no Derek Jackson talk, right? I'm not going to sit here and absolve women of their shortcomings, but sorry, it stems, like, again, if we want to be the leaders of the household, of the communities and all and such, this type of activity is what's keeping the state of affairs within the intersexual dynamics on the West where it's at. Guys that are giving women this type of warped attention is what allows for them to walk around with those heightened state of delusion that when so much complained about in 2022 going on 2023. Like this is the problem, because for every guy that's like myself that would never dream of doing some stupid shit like this, you're gonna have a guy that is I'm sorry, log me out so you can pay me through me $1,000, $2,000, because that turned me on. And I'm not even gonna hate the world. Like, hey, do what you got to do. $1,000, $2,000. I mean, that gets shit done for a lot of people. Okay, so who am I? There's a family in Africa, in India, that is thirsting over $1,000, $2,000 as they speak, and hey, shit. If you're just gonna give me $1,000, $2,000 for just existing, who am I to say no? I'm better than that. The fuck. So I don't even blame her. You know what I'm saying? I blame the guys that are suckers enough to even to dive into this mess, man.
Parking tickets.
Sipping it at an all-time high.
James argues, accurately, that there are differences.
What is this? Is this on full screen? It's not full screen. Students walk out. Oh, now I can't read. Students walk out because of ladies speaking facts. Men and women are different. Oh boy. Oh booshalaka. It's about to get spicy. There's a bunch of "how dare you" on the way.
Between men and women. This is a strange position to be in, to be arguing for something that is so universally and widely accepted within biology. What is not as widely accepted is that culture is also evolutionary, but I'm going to argue that biology and culture are both evolutionary. Let's look at differences between men and women that are explicitly anatomical and physiological. Are men taller than women on average? Does anyone take offense at that fact?
I'm sorry. She's diving in, she's doing her thing. I am just more miffed at the fact that we have to sit here in 2022 and have these conversations, right? With all the things going on in the world, right? This is what the fact that there are spaces on the internet that have to have these conversations, these types conversations. The fact that I even have to have a video that's probably going to be titled this is insane. This is where our great grandparents, our great greats, our fucking ancestors have fought, died, bled, all for us to sit around and get triggered at the fact that men and women are different from each other. Holy shit. We are fucked. God, man, if I'm blessed to bring children into this world, oh my God. Holy, oh Jesus.
Are you irritated?
There's always a standout.
So I would say you could be irritated by it. You could be irritated by the fact that women have to be the ones to gestate and lactate. You could be irritated by a lot of truths. But taking offense is a...
See, look at this. This is what I'm talking about. And it's always the same ones. Oh my God, screw the fat shaming. It's always the big undesirable weirdos. Sorry, yes, the weirdos that choose to die on this pulpit of fucking I really don't even know what to even call it, right? Because there's no sense of justice in it. You don't even know what you're really fighting for, right? You just think something, just because it doesn't go against what you talk about, it's automatically got to be word salad to you, instead of just sitting on your fucking ass, waiting for questions, waiting for the time for you to be able to ask questions, and then challenge with your thought process, challenge with your fucking logic. But no, instead you choose to walk out and be immature. Bye. And I hate when people blame this on fucking being young, being in college, because I didn't do this shit. There was tons of shit, because before I got to this point in my life, there was tons of things that were said in college forums that I used to sit back and go, oh, what are they talking about? And never once did I, and okay, so maybe that's anecdotal because I'm talking about myself, but in the many, because I was in an organization called Brothers Making a Difference on campus at the college I went to, and we hosted a ton of forums to have these kind of tough conversations on a weekly basis. That was part of our bylaws, was to make sure we had a weekly event or a weekly meeting set up, so that way people could come from all over the college campus and talk about these types of things. And yet none of those conversations ended like this. None of them ended where people were walking out talking about making all this noise, trying to be seen, seeking hardcore attention that they didn't get from home, right? And if they did get it from home, it's because they got slapped with participation trophies all over the world, telling them that they're special and that they're the bomb. This shit is just nonsensical, and it is exhausting, man. Look at this. And they're happy to disrupt a beautiful sit down conversation about utilizing intelligence. They're happy to sabotage it because they want to choose to be, seen, right? Oh my God. This
is a response that is rejection of reality. So men and women are different on height. They're different on muscle mass. They're different on where fat is deposited on our bodies, right? Our brains are also different. So they're...
Security! This
What
is...
the fuck are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? What is that gonna...
This is what happens. Oh, did they shut off the volume? Can you hear? Can everybody hear?
Really? He's a piece of shit. That is not okay. Even the women in there have been brainwashed.
Should not listen.
They're brainwashed? Yo. This is all I hear. Anytime somebody starts that, I just know you never were whooped in your life. I know you've only done timeouts. I know you've only done stare at the walls, no TV, no PlayStation. That's how I know, right? And it's sad. It's very sad to watch. What are we talking about here? They're brainwashed because they are mature enough to be able to sit and listen. And if they do disagree, that even shows more so about their fortitude to be able to sit and listen without being emotional to something that they disagree with, and wait their turn to be able to have a healthy dialogue. Where do we go to where now, just because something upsets you, your first thought is to, I don't know, break the doors down? People like this, right? The people that you see on the screen, guys, I'm going to make this larger so that way you guys can see the craziness, right? People like this I'm gonna withhold just so that way I don't disrespect any part of the LGBTQIA community, right? People like this right? They're again, even exhibited by the hair, are seeking multitudes of attention, man. Right, that they were lacking growing up. It's very clear. I'm not a psychologist. I don't even know if you really even have to be one to know that people that do outbursts like that seek attention. If a dude was to do that, I would be like, he is an attention whore. That is what these people who are engaging in this are. And the fact that we've now gotten to a point where doing what you're doing now, as opposed to being mature and sitting and having healthy dialogue, are now being are now to be correlated to being brainwashed. Holy shit. Well, I'd rather be brainwashed.
It should not be tolerated in civil society. They're not welcome in civil society.
Now it's fuck the police. These are the anarchists, right? These are the ones that want to say fuck the system, fuck everybody, because you guys are the ones pushing us down, but they have no solutions. They have no solutions. They have none whatsoever. You provide no solutions, but you want to put your chaos into the system so that we can all go into this helpless world of crazy, non-guided, incessant madness, right? Where everybody just is everybody and nobody has any responsibility besides to be healthy and true to yourself, right? This is bullshit. This is bullshit. They don't even know what they're mad about. Fuck the police. What does the police have to do with gender studies type of conversation? Oh my God, the agendas that run wild. And also, let me go back to my man with my I don't want to call him a man either. Well, let me go back to this guy, right? Because these are the types of guys that I tell, on my other channel, I tell girls to, if I don't even have to, obviously, because you guys don't fuck these guys, right? Just let's be cold. Like, these are the types of guys that believe these are the white knights, right? If you're ever wondering what a white knight is, if you see me say it on my Facebook or on my Instagram or what have you, this is a white knight, right? People that talk like this, it should not be tolerated and all this stuff, thinking that they're going to get pussy points. Sorry, I'm speaking so crassly, but I think you guys need to understand the how deep this shit is. These guys are looking for cheeks, right? And they are so insidious enough to think that if they go around talking like this, right, that girls are going to just so happily get moist in the loins from having this conversation, because they can't possibly believe the shit that they're saying, right? Because if you ever sit down and have a combo with them, their logic is automatically rooted a fallacy to begin with. So it's not even, there really is no standing. They give the same talking points, and then they always end up finding themselves fucking moot at the end of the point, and at the end of the day, and then they can't back up the nonsensical shit that they keep pushing at, that they keep seeing at these women's civil rights rallies. It's giving what's it called, involuntary celibate, right? But in the other worst way, right? There's the extreme where it's the one where you go to that incel route, which I hate, right? I can't stand those motherfuckers. And then you go this route where you go, involuntary celibate, but you're just like, fuck men, because while being a man simultaneously, and hating yourself because women are telling you that you should hate yourself for being a man. I can't get jiggy with either side of the spectrum. It's fucking ludicrous, man.
In civil society, they're not welcome in civil society.
Nazis. He's a Nazi for saying that men and women are different.
All right, well, we're going to raise our voices. The conversation's going to go on.
I fucking love it. That's what I'm fucking talking about. That is what I'm talking about. That is what I'm talking about. It's beautiful to be able to see like-minded people who are able to sit and have an honest conversation about, what's going on in the world and why this shit is Looney Tunes. It is fucking insanity.
Let me be crystal clear. Let me be crystal clear. People do not have the right to tell you what you can and cannot listen to. People do not have the right, fringe elements of society do not have the right to hold you hostage to discourse. This is a university. If we cannot have this conversation here, we can't have it anywhere. We have to be able to talk about it. No issues will solve themselves. That sort of behavior is unacceptable.
This is a society we live in. What's the difference between them and some spoiled?
The fact that he even has to say this is wild enough as it is, right? Like, I mean, this wasn't like it was when I was at school, right? But I can see that because I graduated in 2013, right? So 9 years ago. So I looks like that there's just no room. There's no room for free thought. There's no room for meeting of the minds when it comes to university forums. And that to me, it saddens me, right? Because I would think that those would be the absolute best places for you to be able to expand upon your thought processes, your what you've seen in the world, your experiences, for you to be educated, right? Because you maybe have been living your life seeing from this reality, right? But then there's universal truth that you may not have been exposed to, and now you're able to get that by seeing people who may just know more about a topic than you, humbling you in the process, right? Like I thought this is where university or college is like powerful, right? For people who, are going on that journey. And now I'm telling you that piece of humble pie will do everybody some good in this life, right? But I just think that some people think they're so above it that they don't need to sit in a conversation that's not even talking about them personally and take everything personally and make it about them, ruining the experience for everybody. So now instead of them having a great conversation, now they're worried about now we're having to talk about some blue-haired bandits running around, causing a ruckus.
Brats who got parents who they throw old brats. You're learning, hearing perspectives that I ain't never even heard before. I'm like, dang, you know what? I'm like, to me, it just seems like a lack of.
All right. So that's the end of that video. Yeah, thank you guys. I mean, at the end of the day, I think this is just a microcosm of what's being seen in today's day and age. If your opinion is, we're living in we're living in a gynocentric society where if your ideals do not align with those that hold the pulpit, which in this case is the alt feminists, the modern wave feminist movement, then you're automatically susceptible to being wiped off the face of the earth from a digital sense, right? And you can't even have simple conversations anymore. I mean, the fact that they even have to have a conversation about the gender differences between men and women is just, it's mind-blowing to me, the fact that people are incensed about this. And then when in the same breath, when you ask them how many genders there are, they cop out and talk about, well, you can't put a number on it. There's a whole bunch. Like, it's either you want to be intellectual and have, be a grown up and have conversation, or you want to be a child. And if that's the case, stay away from forums that provoke intellectual thought, right? That's always been my view process. And if these people are constantly going to be the loudest ones in the room, that's why I pride myself and my co-host on being able to be those guys that will have these takes, right? Because I know having this take is bound to get me, canceled, right? But I don't give a fuck, because at the end of the day, I have to believe that there's more people like me than there are like these little Gen Z anarchists that just want to just set fire to the rain, Adele style, and watch everything burn, and then not have any suggestions of how we should move forward. Like, I think I'd rather go with what's been proven over the last 200,000 years of human being development. So that's my 2 cents, guys. Thank you guys for joining me. If you guys want to see more of my content, check us out on our main channel on the Moss Media Podcast. We have a network where we are trying to expand, where I have my co-host has his channel, and then I also have my sub channel, which is the this channel, obviously QFusion. So if you want to see more of me, as well as on that podcast, as well as on this channel, just send a like, a comment, share my shit, or subscribe. I'm trying to get used to this, more used to this whole YouTube persona shit. So bear with me as I get my, how I get to end this video off. All right. But thank you guys for joining me. I look forward to the next video. Peace.
Are you sure about that?
QFusion.